Okay, I've been asked a few times here to show a real-world example of what I use underwater and what I'm using to film with the GoPro. The GoPro is my camera of choice, although now I have the NEX7 from Sony, which is a 22 megapixel camera. It's a micro four thirds sensor, small form factor, nowhere near as small as the GoPro, and you lose a lot of the portability from the GoPro, but it does offer the chance to put in zoom lenses and whatnot. But still, for cost and what you get, the GoPro is the way to go, and you can get professional results if you know how to use it and you have the right accessories. You can have the GoPro as it comes out of the box, and from what I see now, it's pretty much useless without a good filter, at the very least without a good filter when you go underwater and a shallow depth. But you want to go deeper and you want to get your colors even better, you need lights. And you'll see that these are one of the nicest lights that you can buy, both in quality and functionality. Okay, so I want to start here with the GoPro itself. You can get the GoPro, and there's many versions. You'll see on this stick here, this is a GoPro Hero 3 Black, the newest version. Out now is the GoPro Hero 3 Plus Black. Now the Plus, for underwater enthusiasts especially, is that you now decrease your focal length from about a foot down to about 8 inches. And you'll see later, you can also decrease the focal length even further with diopters available for the GoPro and some of the systems that are out there. You'll need a tray or some sort of handle. I find both the pole cams. This is a GoPro, third-party company that sells accessories and mounting solutions for the GoPro. Great products, all of them. This is my favorite, the GoPro Reach, and it goes over 36 inches, 39 or 36 inches I believe, and it gives you plenty of reach. And because of the big handle and the good grip on this, I can still get fairly steady shots. There are some competitors out there I don't like as much because the handle is smaller and therefore more difficult to keep steady. Okay. Let's start with the tray here, and this is called the tray from Snake River Prototyping. I'll leave a link in the video. It starts out, I wish I had a better example. Actually, I do have a better example. Okay, here's what you get when you purchase the tray. This is how it comes, standard, with arms. Each one of these arms are a good grip. Lots of, it's wide enough so that you can really grip onto a soft rubber grip for good grip. And I find that this with the GoPro Add to Lights is a very steady platform for the GoPro underwater. The only other thing that you could do that I've tried to do, and I haven't perfectly worked out the buoyancy issues, because by right you want your camera to be as neutrally buoyant as possible at the different depths, and you're never going to get it right because you're always changing depths, but you want it as neutrally buoyant as possible so it's not too heavy underwater, so you can, with a very light touch, control your camera without it being too heavy and without having wrist fatigue or whatnot. I haven't figured out the exact buoyancy yet, but I have tried to lighten the weight of the camera itself in order to facilitate getting steadier shots. You can post edit in most programs now with a stabilizer. The GoPro itself doesn't have a stabilizer system in it, but the best results are from steady footage to begin with, and then if you have to do minor stabilization, it's okay, but best to try to get the most steady shot possible. And for that, I've tried to, well, you'll see it's just duct tape, but it's over a closed cell foam that's very rigid, and it won't crush at depth, but it'll add some buoyancy to your rig. And I just basically used a hacksaw and some, I don't know, that's about 1 inch closed cell aluminum, or sorry, foam, closed cell foam, and cut it with a hacksaw to the shape of the bottom of the tray here, and that adds a little bit of buoyancy and helps me get a little steadier shot and less wrist fatigue. So of course you just add these and then add your lights on top. Now lights are a big plus when you're working underwater, whether it's, especially if it's overcast. I mean, if you're on a nice, bright, sunny day in 30 feet of water with a proper filter, you're going to get a good shot underwater, and you don't need the lights. But any kind of overcast, anything deeper than 20, 30 feet, and a light setup is good. The good news about lights is there's cheaper, more affordable lights coming out on the market all the time as these LEDs become more prevalent and in the marketplace. These particular ones are probably, they're the Light and Motion Sola 2000s. These are the older version. They now have a Sola 2100, which adds a spotlight feature, which is handy, but you can get these older versions maybe from some vendors still at an affordable price. When they first came out, you're looking at almost $900 per light. But you add the lights, the camera, the filters, and it's an affordable package at close to professional results that you can get. I would say only 10 years ago you would be paying $20,000 for the type of footage that you can now get for under $2,000. So the lights themselves, my particular ones are with lock line arms that just screw to the top of these handles. With the base, you have to buy the base separate. It's a lock line to 1 inch to 1 inch adapter. And they just pop on there, and you have the ability to roll them any direction you want. You can do something for macro straight above you. You can do them to the side, and you can get both. Going here. So you look something like this. Okay. Now the other option, as you'll see here, is I have something on the front of my GoPro here. It's the flip filter system from Backscatter. Now I don't like the lenses that come with the Backscatter flip filter, so you can buy these adapters that allow you to put 55mm filters in that I like from Snake River Prototyping. Now these are glass filters. They're a little bit pricey, but if you take care of them, they'll last you. And to that end, I always purchase a filter cover, and these are about $8 through Snake River Prototyping, $7 or $8 I believe, or 7 to 10, and they will save you scratches and keep your filter scratch free, especially when you get back on the dive boat. Everybody's camera goes back into the bucket, the same bucket. It'll keep from scratching the lens. I have lost a few lenses. There is this because I carried more than one camera, there are times when the camera dangles freely. If it tugs on anything, it can come off. So to that end, if you don't have the cover, you can get small baby socks and cover up, and that'll help protect it as well. For example, I have two filters on this particular one that I like to use. One is the shallow water cyan filter. That's good for up to 20 feet depth, I think. But I can still use the low setting on my Sola 2000s. They have a 500 lumen setting, a 1200 lumen setting, and a 2000 lumen setting. If I put it on a full 2000 lumen setting, my picture will be blown out with too much red or orange, as the cyan filter does. But if I do it on 500 lumen and I'm back, you can adjust how much light you're giving your subject. There might be a slight tinge extra of red, but I really like that effect to my videos. It really makes the colors pop. You'll see when I get too close in some of my videos, you'll actually see the little extra red or oranges tint to the video. And that's not ideal, but you can play with that, and you can. And the second filter I carry is you've just flipped this one out of the way when you're ready to use it. In a situation where I don't want to use light, but I'm at a depth where I want a little more red, I use the regular cyan filter. That's good for 30 feet plus. And you really aren't getting much benefit from the filters once you get past 60, 70 feet. So, and plus you're losing a little bit of light. Every time you put something in front of your lens, you're losing maybe an f-stop. So that's what you want to do. That's my setup right there. A cyan filter, a shallow water cyan filter for this particular camera. You can also add a macro lens to these. These are threaded inserts. These filters come right out of here, and you thread in any filter you would like. If you're in green water, you'd put a magenta filter in here. If you're working off the BC coast or the California coast, you want a green water filter. Okay, I would like to. Okay, this is my other setup, of course. Now I have the cover on as usual. You can extend the pole out. Like I said, I'm due for a new pole here. That the glue here has come loose. But once you have the pole extended, and this isn't fully extended, but it extends out to about 36 inches. There's a little bit of water left over. I have the filter on a little leash, and then just a rubber band that I can slide down on that to keep it out of the way, so it doesn't flop around into my shot. Same thing with the other filter you can see on here. It's held by a rubber band because it has a tendency, and you'll see it in a moment. It's a wider diopter. Again, I have the cyan filter because with this setup, I'm not using lights. I'm not using lights all that often. If I am using a light, I'll break off a light from here and I'll hold it up above and illuminate my subject with my second hand and try to illuminate it that way. When I'm ready to do a close-up, and I haven't done much work with this yet, I have got a few shots with small macro things like seahorse and whatnot, but when I'm ready to do my macro shot, flip this out of the way, put my rubber band out of the way here, take off my protector sock, and just flip over. It's called the Macromate Mini 55mm lens diopter from Backscatter. Now I don't know the specifics on exactly, I think it's a +20 diopter, which takes my focal length from about there down to about there. Okay, now that's a big plus for the GoPro users because we have a hard time getting any kind of close-up views with the wide-angle lens. And that's another point. I use wide-angle just about exclusively. So, anyways, that's my setup for that. Okay. Another Here's another option you can get, and I don't like these as much anymore, but this is a good starter option if you wanted to. You can use these as handles. You don't need the lights. You can start off with this, screw your GoPro right in here, the housing, and get yourself a nice filter, even a cheaper filter if you want to start with, just to get you shooting something underwater. And there you got a very affordable little setup. That also can be purchased from Backscatter. These lock line arms are the smaller ones. I like the bigger. This looks to be maybe ½ inch. These are full 1 inch, I think. And yeah, you can start with something like that. I did start with all this stuff right from scratch, like something similar to this, and slowly work my way up. And in doing that, I ended up spending twice as much, you know. So if you start off with this right off the bat, you will not be disappointed with the results. Also, you have some retractor cables, and these are good ones. Looks like the gripper, and I like these because they retract, but you can also lock them in place whatever you need. I lock them in when I'm getting back on the boat, and I can hand my camera to somebody and everything's tight. Or if I hook them onto my BC, they're tight, I can do my rollback, it's not moving a whole lot. I can hold it with one hand, still hold my mask with another, and do my rollback. These can fold back into place before you hand them on the boat, and you hand them back up like this. Okay? Make sure you get the covers back on before you get back on the boat. Here's a neat thing that I just purchased. There's some limitations that I don't like about this, and you know, it would be really nice if they improve on the design. Make it a 3-axis maybe, and right now I think this is a 2-axis. Basically, it's a gyro stabilized little arm. It would be nice if it had a bigger reach advantage, but I think I can jimmy up something here that would work good. And also, what would be cool is if you did put it on a longer pole, have some sort of app to control. They have a pan and tilt, pans down, tilts up function on it. It's not something I have used a lot, but what I really like is you can almost get a jib shot just by doing that. You see how and it doesn't matter how my wrist is moving, it's keeping the steady horizontal plane. Really neat little rig here. I haven't really tested it out too much yet, but one thing I do notice, which I always love to have, is the LCD back panel. Oh, and you definitely need that with your GoPro rig. You need the LCD panel. It's hard to get your shot just right without it. So this is, I can't even remember the product of this, but dickcreative.com, DICT-creative.com. I'll maybe put a link to that if I can find it. And yeah, great little, I'm looking forward to using this a little bit and seeing if I can steady up my shots a little bit. Okay, for now I'll leave you guys with that and see how that is. Still recording? 50.